All right. What's happening, everybody? Hey, so we are live, but this will also be recorded. So, yeah, I want to talk a little bit today. This is Lance with the BJJ Business and Martial Arts Marketing Podcast and YouTube channel. But what I want to talk today about is the idea of why are you still under 100 students. So I talked to a lot of martial arts school owners. I talked to a lot of BJJ, Muay Thai, MMA, kickboxing, all of those kinds of owners, um, karate, kung fu, all of them. And a lot of people are still stuck under 100 students. Some people have been stuck there for years and years and years. So I want to kind of walk through a little training that I did that talks a little bit about some of the reasons and some of the solutions that maybe you could use to get out of this kind of tight spot that you might be in. So the idea really is that if you're under 100 students, um, it's not a kind of knock against you, right? Obviously you care, you show up, you teach a great class, but the idea is there's some things that are missing, right? Some of the business strategies, some of the ideas that are probably missing somewhere in your business. So if you care, if you show up, if you do the things, you teach a great class, all of those things, then why are you still under 100 students, right? People should hear about it. People should know about it. And if they hear about it and know about it, then they should be, maybe talking and getting more people in. So why hasn't that effort and care and love for the business been able to translate into some kind of stable growth, right? Um, it's not a market problem. A lot of people think like, oh, it's my market. There's competition, there's this, there's that. I'm charging too much. I'm not charging enough. All of these different things. It's not the market. It really comes down to the operator themselves, right? The person that's running the business is not following the business practices. They might be teaching a great class. They might be doing the things that need to be done on the mats, but outside of that mat, it's an operations problem, right? So today, what I really want to kind of dig into is, why this happens and kind of some solutions that we can be doing, right? Obviously, hard work isn't the problem. We're all out there teaching classes. We're doing the things, right? You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated, but effort without structure will keep you stuck. Meaning, if you put a lot of effort into something, if you put a lot of love into something, it doesn't automatically transfer into more members for you. So you can put that effort in, but you can still be stuck at that kind of plateau. There's lots of things that you need to be doing. You need to be tracking numbers. You need to be in control of your lead flow. You need to be measuring expectations, right? You need to be measuring execution too. You've got to stop guessing and kind of hoping what's going to happen. But really, what you need to be doing is starting to set up some more structure inside of your business. Maybe it's structure in your leadership model. Maybe it's structure in your marketing model. Maybe it's structure in your sales model, retention. All of these people, all of these things are going to attract or detract from different areas of the life and business. So if you don't track the numbers, really control that lead flow and measure those executions that you should be doing, you're really just guessing. So effort without structure equals stress. So this is why things feel unstable in your business, right? This is why sometimes you get a ton of leads coming in the door, revenue's up, but then the very next month you have no leads, no extra revenue, no extra profit. Stress is often a sign or a signal of missing structure. So if you don't know what to do next, a lot of time that stress and anxiety can start to build up. So what you need to kind of be thinking about is, how do you keep calm, direct, and control of your business, right? How do I know that I'm going to get leads coming in the door? How do I know that my revenue is going to be set at a basic point? How do I know that I'm going to have an actual profit each month, right? So these stresses start to go away as we start to build structure inside of our business. So when we talk about instructor and operator and investor and all of these different kind of names, really what we're looking at is typically what's happening. Most owners that are under 100 students are really, really good instructors. They're great instructors. but they've never made the shift from instructor or coach or club director or whatever you want to call it into the idea of operator or business owner, right? They never really make that shift mentally or physically in their actions at the school. They're still there, kissing babies and shaking hands and all that kind of stuff. But the idea is they're not making that transition from a technician or coach or instructor into that role of owner, operator, manager, kind of leader in that business. So what happens, right? We don't make that shift and we stay stuck in that kind of smaller idea of how many students we're getting in that business. So once you make that switch from instructor to that operator, operators start to install systems, they start to measure behavior, they start to follow KPIs, they start to strategize more about growth and be able to bring home some profit at the end of the day. So the instructor is the first step, but the second step is really moving into that operator goal. So our operator position. So the operator has to be able to install some systems and they have to be able to measure the behavior of themselves and the others below them in that hierarchy of the business. So if you just feel like you're reacting, if you feel like growth is always kind of fragile or not really happening, you're probably still stuck somewhat in that instructor role. So we need to be starting to focus on the idea, how do I get to the operator position? So these are the things that you want to be kind of looking at on a weekly basis, daily basis, monthly basis, quarterly basis, right? So an operator would be tracking these things, right? If you don't know these numbers off the top of your head, you're probably reacting, right? If you don't know how many leads you typically get or normally get, if you don't know what your show rate typically is, if you don't know what your close rate typically is, if you don't know what your churn or retention rates typically are, revenue, profit, lifetime value, all of these different numbers that that owner operator is really going to be focusing on, because as the operator, we're starting to track these things. And when we track these things, we could see patterns and we can start to see different areas of the business that we need to be focusing on. You can't fix what you don't measure, right? So tracking isn't boring, it's control. I don't want you to really understand that. Tracking isn't boring. It's not things that we just do to kill time. It's really control of the business, and it allows you to look at your business from a controlling standpoint to say, what do I need to do? What do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? And what things are working and what things are not. I'm not here to teach tactics, right? I just want to make you understand that these are the different areas of the business that you need to be looking at. That's what really matters in the business. So if nothing changes, then what? So, again, if nothing changes, then what happens, right? If nothing changes in the next 6 months, what happens? If nothing changes in the next month or year or 2 years, what happens? Maybe you stay stuck at that same spot that you've been stuck at for the past 6 months or the past year or the past, quarter, wherever those numbers are. Do you stay under 100? Do you keep stressing about those slow months? Do you keep hoping that people are going to come in? Do you keep guessing on what to do next? Like, these are the things that you have to be thinking about as a business owner. Again, if you're just in that instructor role, you're probably just doing the things that need to get done on that daily basis. You're reacting to the things that need to be done rather than being proactive and looking at what can be done or how do we grow this thing to that next level. So, again, it's not a market problem, right? Market is the structure around your business. It is not a market problem. The market won't fix it. More effort is probably not going to fix it. But what will fix it is structure, right? Structure, systems, processes, because now not only can I do those systems and processes, but I can also hire people under me in order to do those same systems and those same processes that I've found are working for my business. So be very, very diligent on the idea that my market is not going to change. My market is not going to fix my problems. My effort is probably not going to fix my problems unless I change the effort and move from the thing of reacting to problems and reacting to situations to being proactive and how do I grow and start to implement these structures and systems and processes into my business. Structure really is going to create the control that you need, because once you have that structure, now you can start putting different pieces into that structure. When you install some kind of lead structure or lead rhythm, a sales structure or sales process, a retention process, a retention leader, tracking all of these things on an ongoing basis, growth starts to stabilize. We start to see what's working and what doesn't work. It also starts to build our confidence, because now we know, like, oh, once I put effort into this area of my business, I see growth, right? It also starts to put discipline, which will replace that stress. So again, if I don't have these structures, I probably have a lot of stress in my life and in my business. But once I put discipline in, once I put structure and systems and processes in, now what I can do is I can really understand where my business is headed, right? I can put a goalpost out there, and I can start working my way down the field to that goalpost. But I have to be able to do that through that structured approach, right? I need to get away from the instructor role and into that operator role. So what we've kind of started to bring out here, and we're going to be putting a lot of content out on this, but we call it King's Growth Lab. So this is a 6-month program. It's basically an execution room, right? The idea is, if you are under 100 students and you want to grow past that kind of sticking point that you've been at, we've built this execution room. It's not a mastermind. It's really what I call a proving ground, right? We're going to meet 2 times a month. We're going to give you clear assignments, behavior-based scorecard to kind of follow and track where you are. The room really will be rewarding to people that execute, right? People that take action. So King's Growth Lab is coming soon. We do have a priority list. If you want to jump on the priority list, you'll get 24-hour access before the launch goes public. But if you want to jump in the priority room, go ahead. There's going to be a link under the video. Click the link, get set up in the priority list. And again, you'll get some training in there, some content in there, but also you'll have access to jump into the King's Growth Lab about 24 hours before the public gets access to the room. So really, really great way to go from that from that instructor into that operator role. It's going to be the pieces that you need to go from under 100 students to doubling or over that 100 students. We're going to figure out what your goals are. We're going to figure out where you want to be with this business, and we're going to help you get there through our 6-month growth lab. So execution is measured, right? And this is what it comes down to. If you are taking action and if you are measuring those actions, then you will be able to take that next step, right? So inside of the growth lab, there's not going to be any hiding, no pretending. We're going to measure things, right? We're going to measure attendance. We're going to measure implementation. We're going to measure your metrics. We're going to make sure that you're taking action and doing the things that you need, because inside of Growth Lab, we've made this kind of like kind of gamatized it to a point where we have different statuses for people that are doing different things. Meaning, if you're doing the things, you might get to elite status, you might become that operator status, but all of these things are going to be earned, and it's also all in the progress of your business. So again, there's no hiding, there's no kind of stepping back. It's really the idea of digging into your business, looking at it from that first principles kind of idea. What needs to change inside of my business to start to grow my business? So very, very, very great execution inside of this growth lab. The whole idea of this is put people in a room that need growth, that want growth. The cream is going to rise to the top. The people that want to grow their business, the people that want to do the work are going to go to the top. And those are the people that you're going to see great success for. They're going to be owners. They're going to be operators. They're going to be elite status inside of that group. So if you like a challenge, and if you like the idea of growing your business through a structured program, we've done this hundreds of times with different academy owners. I have 4 academies myself. We do this same exact exercises inside of my academy with my leaders. So this is the way to move you through this process. So we're only taking 30 owners inside this first cohort. So the idea of this is these are going to be live calls. We're going to be putting people in hot seats. We're going to be doing things that people need to be accessed kind of one-on-one. So we can't get more than that 30 in. This will go live March 30 or 20. What is it, 23rd? Will be live for the actual membership part of it. But we have the priority list. You're not, jump on the priority list. You're going to be getting some emails, some information, some content, and that priority list will get access before anybody else. We have over 10,000 academies that we have on our list. Lots of people will be getting this information. So if you jump on the priority list, you will have first shot at this. This is going to be very reasonably priced. This is going to be very, very good for your business and for you as a leader. So we're going to be working not only on the business, we're going to be working on you as a leader. We're going to be working on how to be a better leader inside of your academy, whether it be with your students or with your staff or other people. So again, cohort is going to be capped at 30 people. That way we can protect the standards. We can protect the accountability that we're going to be giving you as people part of the Growth Lab. And when it fills up, it closes. We will not be doing another one like next week or anything like that. It will be a short, probably 30 to 90 day period where we won't be taking any other people into the program. Probably 90 days. Every quarter, we might run another one of these. But right now, we don't have a second one scheduled. We're going to be doing 30 people, and that is it. So if you want information, jump on the priority list. Again, you're going to get 24-hour access before it goes public. We will go public on the 24th. You guys will get access on the 23rd if you are on the list. First meeting is going to be April 7th. So again, this is really the stepping point for you and your business. If you've been stuck at a certain point, if you've been stuck under that 100 student mark, this is exactly what you're going to need to put the pieces of the puzzle together to start to move you toward the path of over 100 students. Very, very important dates. Again, jump on the priority list right now. You will get access on the 23rd. If you don't, you won't have access until the 24th. And the first meeting will be April 7th. So again, no more than 30 people. And that is how this thing is going to work. So obviously you're working hard. You are doing the things that you need to do. But now what we want to do is we want to operate like an operator. So again, if this is you, go ahead and click the link, get set up on the priority list. And we will be talking with you throughout the time of March, getting you ready for the April 7th launch of this cohort. So hopefully that is you. Hopefully you're serious about growth. Hopefully you want to do the things that need to happen inside of your business to grow it. And if you do, go ahead and click the link and get on the priority list. And hope to see you soon. Remember, you are closer than you think to the academy of your dreams. You're closer than you think to putting profit in your bank every month. You're closer than you think to getting to 150, 200 students, whatever that goal for your academy might be. You're way closer than you think. You just have to have the right things put in place. And if you want those things, jump in the Academy Kings Growth Lab with us. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.